I've never done this live on Facebook thing, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to click the button and see if it works. If it doesn't, it says it's preparing the live stream right now. So as long as my internet is strong enough, it might be live streaming on Facebook. But I'm not gonna wait on it to do that. So, okay, so we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started. My name is Kim Danke, and those of you that joined me last night for day 1 webinar, the overview of the program, thank you for joining me last night. And I see some of the same people on here tonight, so I thank you so much for joining me again tonight. Tonight is a very important lesson because one of the biggest questions that everybody wants to know is, okay, so I understand that I'm supposed to have my water, journal my food, combine my foods in the right combination, portion my food out, and eat it in the proper timing. But what am I going to eat? So we're going to talk about some good combinations for your first 7 to 10 days. If you truly work this and do this for the next 7 to 10 days, you can have a great success. You can easily lose 7 to 10 pounds if you really put this into action from day 1 that you put this into action. So I'm gonna share my screen with you, and because we are gonna dig right into the fast track. And if you will, let's see, the recording from last night is in the group. So it's already sitting in the group. So if you just go back to day 1, you'll see it and you can watch that from last night, okay? Not a problem. I have everything categorized in this group, day 1, day 2, day 3. So as long as you kind of go back to the posts and follow them in order, that'll be just fine. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Please give me a yes or that kind of thing. Because last night at one point they couldn't see my screen and I want to make sure. Yes, okay, awesome, good. All right, then what you should be seeing is Shibboleth. It's a secret new member fast track phase 1 week 1. I'm going to tell you something. This part right here, it's a secret. It is a secret, and it's something that I feel like shouldn't be a secret. That's why I am yelling it from my rooftop and everywhere I go, because this is something that I wish I had known about years and years and years ago, but I didn't. And so you have to embrace something once you find out about it. But let's not keep it a secret, but let's tell our friends about it, because this is some important information. Okay, so we talked last night in the program overview about categorizing food, and we talked about the 7 categories. We have category 1, lean protein, category 2, fibrous carb, category 3, energy carb, category 4, protein plus fat, category 5, fruit, category 6, superfoods, category 7, shellfish. And just to kind of recap, category 1 and category 7 are the exact same thing. They're both a lean protein. So category 7 has just been separated off because some people are allergic to it and some people, for biblical reasons, don't want to eat shellfish. So those have been separated off, but you can treat them the exact same if you don't mind eating shellfish and that kind of thing. So then we've got a fibrous carb and then an energy carb and a protein plus fat. Now, a protein plus fat, that's just like what it says. It's a protein. It just has a little bit more fat in it than our lean proteins. And then we've got our fruit and our superfoods. Now, if you'll remember, I told you some really hard and fast rules last night. If you want to eat a category 3 energy carb, you have to eat it with a category 1 and a 2. That's an and, 1 and a 2. Same thing with fruit. Now, in maintenance, fruit is a freebie, but in weight loss, fruit has to be eaten in combination with a category 1 and a category 2. So last night we talked about the fact that those things bring more of an insulin release, and what we're trying to do is we are trying to keep insulin at bay. And if you combine those things in the right way, the category 1 and the category 2 will negate the insulin release from the category 3 and the category 5. But we're going to be real simple. That I just like to refresh with that, because there's some things that you just don't ever want to do on the program, and that would be that. Never eat a category 4 with a 3 or a 5 or a 6. A 3 is an energy carb, 5 is a fruit, 6 is a superfood. That's a hard and fast rule right there. And if you're going to eat those other things, you need to eat them with a 1 and a 2. Except for the category 6, you can just eat it with a 2 if you want to, a fibrous carb. But let's look at some of these things right here. Category 1, lean protein, 2 to 8 ounces. That just gives you a nice little portion size. You don't have to actually measure it. If it fits underneath your hand, it's fine. I love that because I don't like to weigh and measure and do all of those things. And then 8 ounces, if you're really measuring it out, 8 ounces is really for a man. A lady might just want to go to 6 ounces if you're measuring like that. Now, I'm going to read through this list just to give us some idea of what might be in this list. And this is a very, very, very short list. And last night, I didn't even cover all of these. I just used chicken as my example in the overview. But we got egg whites, all fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin. And there's a difference between pork and pork tenderloin. Pork tenderloin is less fatty. Boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef franks, or 96% lean ground meat. So those are just some examples. So if you will, be ready to type tonight, because I'm going to ask y'all some questions. Does everybody see at least something that they like in that list? Because what I love about this program is you don't have to eat anything on this program you don't like. But I do need for you to like at least something on this list. So give me a yes if you like something on the list. Awesome, Jana. Thank you, Shauna. Yes, awesome, Cindy. Okay, fantastic. Great, Amanda. Thank you. Okay, so we've got a lean protein. Now, if you're going to notice right here, it's a little plus symbol. Thank you, Amy and Yolande. Thank you. And then we've got a flame behind it. Okay, well, that flame means it's good for fat burning. All right, so we're going to look right here. We've got MCT oil, coconut oil, ghee butter, hemp oil, or 0-calorie cooking spray. All of these oils can be used. Now, if you will remember from last night's lesson that okay, somebody that was on here last night, type in what kind of oils you do not want to use anymore. Tell me that real quick, because that's important. Because if you have these oils in your house, you need to get rid of them. And olive oil, thank you. Vegetable oil, very good job. Yep, olive oil. LCTs, awesome. Long chain oil, very good. I'm glad y'all listened. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you don't want to use LCTs, long chain triglycerides. They will be stored on your body as fat. And because we don't burn them up fast enough, and they're very slow burning. That's why we want to use these products here. So you just want to have some MCT oil on hand. Maybe you're cooking a piece of meat in a pan, or maybe you've picked a recipe from the recipe library and it's got oil as one of the ingredients. You'll want to use MCT oil. And as I said last night, Travis recommends the Zero Drag MCT oil from the Shibboleth store, or the Now brand that you can buy on Amazon. And you know what? When Travis says something, I just do what he says. I don't question it. I just do it. So those are the ones that I'm recommending for you as well. So if you add a piece of chicken with some oil or 0-calorie cooking spray, and you put a little condiment on there to season that chicken up and make it taste great, that could be a meal. So basically what this is saying is you can eat a lean protein by itself. You can cook it in an approved oil, and you can add some condiments to it to make it delicious. Now let's look at these condiments. A 0-calorie condiment, 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings, salt and pepper, 15-calorie or less coffee creamers. You wouldn't be putting that on your chicken. Salsa, salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, fat-free mayo. These are just some things right here. One of my favorite condiments now that I use on my sandwiches is the Laughing Cow Light Swiss Creamy Wedge Cheese. I put that on my bread, and it gives me the moisture that I might need or want that I used to get from mayonnaise, but it also gives me that moisture, but it gives me a cheese flavor as well. So that's one of my favorite condiments now, and it's only 30 calories, so that's great. So right here, this could be a meal. So if you wanted to do that, it could be a meal. And we're going to scroll up a little bit, and I'm not going to reread these because we've already done that, but that's the same list of that category 1 lean protein. Then we've got our plus with a flame here. Then I'm going to skip this column real quick, move over here. We have our same oils, we have our same condiments. And keep in mind, this condiment list is not all inclusive, just like the others are not all inclusive. This is just a little bit. You're going to find so much more as you go through all of my little tasks this week and you watch the daily doses and you familiarize yourself with the website. You're going to learn so much more. We're going to visit this column right here. Category 2, it's a fibrous carb. Now, remember last night I said there's over 60 breads in the fibrous carb approved list, and that is huge because we don't exclude any macronutrient. The breads that are in that list they break down in your body more like a green bean than they do a bread. So that's why they can go into that particular category, because they have enough fiber and protein in them to qualify for that. But if you'll notice here, it's really best to have like a vegetable fibrous carb in your first 7 to 10 days if you're wanting to get a huge jump start on it. So you're welcome to use the others. I'm just kind of giving you best case scenario here. So let's read over some of these and be ready to type with something that you like, okay? Awesome. What's great stuff, Amanda? I see that you wrote that. That stuff's great. Are you talking about the MCT oil? Because I like to hear other confirmations that people like it too. Oh, the Laughing Cow cheese. Oh yeah, you're right. That is some good stuff. So y'all have already learned something tonight. The Laughing Cow cheese is an excellent condiment. Yes, ma'am. The MCT oil too. Very good. Okay, so we've got broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles. Do you see something on this list that you like? Please type it in if you do. And remember last night? Awesome, Jana, that's great. Good. Yes, ma'am. Amanda, awesome. Good. So remember last night when I said to create a list, all of it. Good job. Cabbage. Thank you for answering, y'all. Now, remember last night how I said to make a list of about 10 lean proteins? Well, this is a good little list. And make a list of about 10 fibrous carbs. And then I just said to mix and match them with all the different things. I'm going to send this link in the Facebook group after we get off of this webinar. So you can use this however you need to. But like I said last night, draw a line from one to the next and say that's going to be Tuesday night's meal. Draw a line from one to the other one. That's going to be Wednesday night's meal. And just start making up a meal list. So this right here is a 1 + 2 + MCT. And one of the things that Travis says is the fastest fat-burning meal is a 1 + 2 + MCT. That would also include a 7, which is a shellfish, + 2 + MCT, because remember, they're really a lean protein. Those are the fastest fat-burning meals. Now, on the Shibboleth lifestyle, which, by the way, y'all, you need to go ahead and start embracing right now that this is not a diet and this is something for the rest of your life. And so go ahead and just start embracing all of the whole program and just getting your mind and your heart set right on this. So on the program, there's a lot of different options and combinations, but we're sharing with you the first 7 to 10 day best case scenario combinations. Okay, so right here, we've got this same list of category 1 lean proteins. We've got our plus with a flame behind it. And then we have some hemp products, okay? Got hemp hearts, hemp flakes, very sweet hemp flakes, hemp protein powder, and hemp oil. These are full of protein and fiber, and they are so, so good for you. So you can add those to any of those meals. I hear a lot of people add low-fat cottage cheese to put some hemp hearts or hemp flakes on there, and they'll do that. Or make yourself an omelet, an egg white omelet, and throw in some of these hemp flakes. That's really good. And you can still use your oil here, and we have your condiments. Y'all remember last night when I said I was going to say something and it was good and I couldn't remember what it was? I did post that comment in the Facebook group, but it was the fact that you do not want to use MCT oil as a supplement. Some people get it in their mind, oh, MCT oil is good for me. Let me just take a tablespoon of it. No, you don't want to do that. You're using it for a purpose, and the purpose is cooking. So don't just take it as a supplement, and don't make bulletproof coffee with it, because it does have calories in it. It's got about 100 calories a tablespoon. So that's not something that you want to just put straight into your body. Use it for a purpose, because think about this. Some of it's going to burn up when you're cooking, because remember I said that it's fast burning. So some of it's going to burn up while cooking. And the other, because it is fast burning, it creates a thermogenic effect in our body and helps us burn calories. So it's going to be good for us, but we don't want to just throw it in for no reason, okay? You can use coconut oil the same as MCT oil. Coconut oil is 60% MCT oil. So MCT oil is still the best, but coconut oil would be right under that. So yes, you can. Now we're going to scroll down a little bit more, and this is just showing us that all we've done right here, this is the same little list here. We've changed this category 1 to a category 7. It's the same thing. So let's read through this. Crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams. Want to say something about crab, not imitation crab. Imitation crab, you want to look up in the, it depends on the imitation crab. I think there's 2 imitation crabs approved, and I think they are considered a lean protein. But a lot of times in imitation crab, they have a lot of fillers in them, and those fillers could actually be a category 3. So you just want to be careful with that. So we've got that list. You can add some hemp heart flakes. A lot of people like to do shrimp and cooked in MCT oil. Throw those hemp heart flakes on there, and they're delicious. Put some salt and pepper, and I like a seasoning called Herbamare, Herbamare, Herbamare. I like to use that a lot. And we're going to scroll down a little bit more. Now, look right here. We got category 4, protein plus what? Protein plus fat. So it's still a great protein. It's just a little bit fattier than the lean protein and the shellfish. Now, if you'll notice, the ounces went a little bit lower, 2 to 6, just because it does have more calories in it. So we're going to read these. Whole eggs, steak, all steak is in this category. Pork ribs, beef ribs, turkey spam, that's the Hormel turkey spam. Pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean, well, let's just say 93 to 95.5% ground meat. Turkey kielbasa, as long as 50% of the calories are from fat or less, okay? Now, some of these things on this, like turkey spam, some people turn up their nose and say, well, I don't want to be a part of a program that does turkey spam. Well, guess what? I might not eat turkey spam, but somebody else does, and it's approved and it's on the program. So we try to meet everybody where they are in what they like to eat and what they want to do, so that anybody can do this program, whether you are a clean eating person or whether you want to eat some turkey spam and enjoy every minute of it, okay? So then look at this. We've already read through this column here. You're going to want to pair a category 4 with a category 2. That is your fibrous carb, all right? But if you'll notice here, there's not a flame behind this plus. There's no flame there. So because it's not as good as fat burning, well, it's not as good at fat burning because there's fat in it, okay? But it's still a great fat burning meal. It's just not quite as good as the other. And you will lose weight eating this as well. And then notice that we don't have, what do we not have? We don't have that oil. See how there's no oil in that list? Because this has the fat in it, and you don't need to add extra oil to it. Then we still have our little condiments here. So is everybody seeing some things that they could put together this week and eat some properly combined meals? I hope that this is helping you. Y'all give me a thumbs up if it's helping you. Awesome. Thank you, Jana. Good. Awesome, Heather. Thank you, Yolande. Thank you. Okay, so I'll make sure that we're good because thank you, Cindy and Amanda. I just want to make sure that we're on the right track because the most important thing to me and to Travis and to Sasha and everybody else that's teaching, thank you, Amanda, is that you understand what to eat and that you can put meals on your plate that you're going to be able to control your blood sugar so that we are not storing fat. We instead are going to fat reserves and burning that fat. And these meals will do that for you. So let's scroll down a little bit more. Okay, so look right here. We've got category 6, superfood. So we could have pintos, 1 cup up to 1.5 cups, black beans, red beans, soybeans, peanut butter, 2 tablespoons, nuts, 2 handfuls, seeds, 2 handfuls. Now, that is the amount for a meal. If you're just doing a snack, it would be more like a palmful, not a handful. And I'm so excited that y'all are with me on this journey this week because each and every day I have things listed. And I hope that y'all participated in day 2 already and watched those daily doses 1 through 5 and that you did the little tasks like editing your profile and that kind of thing. I hope that y'all did that today. And each day we're going to explore the website a little bit more and we're going to watch those daily doses and we're going to get to that badge on Saturday, okay? So by the end of this week, we're going to have some meals, we're going to know how to work everything, and we're going to be able to apply this because it's not just about knowing what to do, it's about applying. You have to apply what you're learning. So now we're going to add some condiments. So we just take some of those black beans, and I would put my Herbamare on there because I do love that stuff, and just throw a condiment on there, and you really could just eat that as a meal if you wanted to. Now we're going to scroll up, and right here, we have put together a superfood plus a fibrous carb. And you can do that. You can throw in some condiments, and that would be a perfectly combined meal. And then we're going to look right here. We're back to looking at our shellfish, our oil, and our condiments. And again, we have our flame on this one. And then this one shows you that you could put your shellfish together with a fibrous carb and use your oil and have some condiments. Okay, Yolande, you don't have to use the journal on the website, but it is extremely helpful. The journal on the website, if you want somebody to ever review your journal, all you have to do is submit for a journal review and we can look it over. So it is helpful to journal on the website. So tell me why you're asking that question if you don't mind. And we're going to let her type that, and I'm going to come back over here. Now, the reason I kind of just scrolled over those is because we've already kind of looked at them. This is a lean protein with a fibrous carb, your oil and all that. Okay, so you've been journaling. That is excellent, but just not on the website. Well, we would like for you to journal on the website. Oh, and guess what? When you journal on the website, hey, no problem. When you journal on the website, you get points, and your points turn into dollars that you get to use in the Shibboleth store. So personally, I would want to journal on the website. Yeah, so I would make that my friend. And there's also an app. So you can use the app. The app is 99 cents one time. And that's great, Heather. Yes, the app's 99 cents. It's very quick and easy to journal on there. So you can download the app for 99 cents. So let's look at this one. Look at this category, this combination right here. We have a category 1, lean protein. We have a category 2, fibrous carb. And now we have added in a category 3, complex carb. Okay, and then we still have our condiments right over here. Now, if you'll notice, what do we not see right here? Somebody tell me what you don't see in that row that we've seen. Yes, good job, Heather. Fat, oil, good job, Amanda, Jana, awesome. That's great. You don't see the fat or the oil in that. Can somebody tell me why? Because I taught that kind of last night. Now, last night was an overview, so I'm going to expect you. Yes, it is definitely a complex carb. Yeah, that's why you don't want to combine that. That's excellent. Okay, so let's read over these real quick. We've got category 3, complex carbs, which we also call energy carbs. You might see that. It's the same thing. It's still category 3. You can have a quarter of a cup up to half a cup. In weight loss, quarter of a cup is really best. In maintenance, half a cup will work, okay? So all potatoes are in a category 3. Oatmeal, weight control oatmeal, long grain brown rice, quinoa, lima beans, all peas, tomato, onion, carrots, whole wheat pasta, whole grain pasta. And honestly, I want to make sure that those pastas right there were Shibboleth approved. Don't just buy any. Make sure that you have looked into the food library and then it's an approved one before you buy that. So in fact, I would probably do the carbonara one because it's categorized as a category 1, 2, and 3, which is great. Okay, so we've got, remember how last night I said, if you want to eat a category 3 energy carb or complex carb, you must eat it. That's a must. You must eat it with a 1 and, that's an and, a 2. Because this right here, you're going to have more of an insulin release from this category 3. So you're going to eat it with your protein and your fiber because the protein and the fiber are going to negate the insulin release that come from the amount of the energy carb that you ate. And I hope that makes sense. So think about this. If we added that oil in or a protein plus fat in, and we had this, remember what I said last night about the fat bus? That the fat bus's job is to pick up fat lipids. And if we've given our body some energy carbs plus some fat, that the insulin is going to do. Welcome, Carolyn. You can rewatch the beginning because I'll post it here too, but join us please for the rest of it. So just, if you're gonna have one of these, don't pair it with the other. Don't pair it with the oil because the insulin that is going to come from this little bit of this, you're using this to negate it, but it still comes out. The insulin does, okay, but just not as much because this will start doing its job. But if you've given your body oil at the same time, the insulin that comes out is going to pick it up and store it. Remember, we don't want to store it, do we? We don't want to store it. We want to get rid of it. We don't want to store fat. We want to get rid of fat. So you just don't eat oil or fat with a category 3 energy carb, and you want to make sure that you combine it with those two. Hope that makes sense. Okay, we're going to scroll down, and if you'll notice here, we got our category 1 lean protein, our category 2 fibrous carb, we've got our condiments here on the end, and now we've got fruit, okay? So if you want to eat some fruit, then you have to pair it with a 1 and a 2. So those are just some hard and fast rules. So let's say you wake up in the morning and you go, man, I really want some blueberries. Well, okay, have some blueberries, that's fine. But pair it with some egg whites, and maybe you make yourself an egg white omelet with spinach and you have some berries. There you go. Perfectly combined meal. And it won't bring the fat bus because we're letting our lean protein and our fibrous carb negate the insulin from that right there. Now, we're going to look over some other things. Now, remember, this is just a small little list, and this is just something because in the beginning, a lot of people want to keep things simple so that you can get through the first 7 to 10 days, familiarize yourself with everything, and we can go from that. So, can I explain the 2% cheese? 2% cheese is going to be categorized. It would be a category 4 because it's got more fat in it than fat-free cheese. But it also can be used as a condiment because it is less than 50 calories. And I hope that helps. So just make sure that you don't use more than 50 calories of that if you're using it as a condiment. Does that make sense, Shauna? And in fact, the Kraft, let's see, and Carolyn, I will go back and explain that real quick. That is not a problem. For condiments, you want to make sure that, okay, so absolutely anything can be used as a condiment, even if it's not in the approved food library. But this is how you make sure that it's approved. You want to make sure that your condiments, look at the nutrition label. If it has 5 grams of sugar or less, or 2 grams of fat or less, and you are going to use 50 calories of it or less, then you can use it as a condiment. So even if it's not in the approved food library, you can confidently pick up something, look at the nutrition label and go, okay, yes, it's got less than 5 grams of sugar. Yes, it's got less than 2 grams of fat, and I'm going to use less than 50 calories of it. That can be used as a condiment. Okay, so Yolande, please repeat info about category 2 breads. Okay, so category 2 breads, I used them straight from the beginning, you know, but this is optimization here. So I don't have any category 2 breads on this list because for optimization purposes, your category 2 should be a fibrous carb. But I know so many of us, and even me, I'm not willing to give up breads and different things like that. So what the team has done is they have found some breads that have enough fiber and protein in them that qualify as a category 2 fibrous carb. And that means it breaks down in our body more like a green bean than it does a piece of bread that has lots of sugar and low fiber and low protein. So the team has those in there. So on the category 2 breads, what you're going to want to do is go into the food library, click on category 2. Sorry, y'all. Click on category 2 and then just scroll down and see the breads. Now, I have found out that my favorite, I actually prefer using the tortilla wraps and the Joseph's mini pitas and the Joseph's lavish bread over regular bread. So there's double fiber wheat bread, and there's some other 40-calorie breads and different things like that in the list, but I have found that my taste buds actually like those other ones better. So just kind of familiarize yourself with all the breads that are in the category 2 fibrous carbs. And honestly, I'm going to tell you something right now. I would never buy a category 3 bread. There's so many choices in the category 2 column. I just don't see the purpose in buying a category 3 bread because you could accidentally have a holiday if you pair it with the wrong thing. But if you only have fibrous carb category 2 breads in your home, you're not going to accidentally pair it with the wrong thing. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Shauna, you could do a bread for a fibrous carb. You could. Yep. So boar's head turkey, 2% cheese. So yeah, so that'd be good. Fibrous carb would be 2. Boar's head turkey is a 1, and that 2% cheese could be your condiment. That'd be a 1 + 2 + C. Now, in that particular case, I wouldn't do any oil or anything. I don't see where there'd be any oil in that meal because there's a little bit more fat in that cheese, and you just don't need to add extra fat and calories. Awesome. Okay, so let's scroll down here real quick. And like I said earlier, this is just a small list of things. You're going to find more in your food library, but this is just to help us get started this week. So breads, category 2 breads. Oh, this is funny. They're right here. Less is best. And that's because fibrous carbs that are vegetables are just truly better for us. But these work. I've lost 50 pounds eating this, okay? So La Tortilla Factory, 50-calorie tortilla, Olay Wellness Extreme Fiber Tortilla, that's the one I use. Healthy Life Bread, Nature's Own Double Fiber Wheat Bread. I do really like this Brand Crisp bread. Healthy Life hot dog buns. You know what I do with my hot dogs? I don't even use a bun. I wrap it up in that Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla with a little bit of ketchup and mustard, because mustard has no calories in it. And I love it. It's so good. So I actually don't even like the buns anymore. You know, taste buds will change if you do different things. And then the Thomas Light 100-calorie English muffins. That's a small list. There's about 60 in the list, but there's a good little one to get you started. Approved sweeteners, stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, xylitol, really anything that doesn't have any calories in it. Approved beverages, water. Now, if you'll remember from last night, you want to get in a half a gallon to a gallon of water. So if you want a perfect day, make sure you drink at least 64 ounces. And I was teasing my class tonight, sort of teasing, not really, because I'm kind of hardcore. I was saying, if you get to 63.5 ounces, is that a perfect day? And of course, they know me, so they said, no, it's not a perfect day. You got to get to 64 ounces. Sparkling water, I think sparkling water is a little bit more dehydrating. So if it were me, I would drink I could drink some sparkling water for some enjoyment, but I would still make sure I got 64 ounces in of regular water. So we got water, any 0-calorie beverage, unsweet tea or approved tea, coffee, but only with approved sweeteners. And then here's some cheeses. Cheeses. And it says condiments up to 100 calories. I think that is a typo because we're only supposed to have 50 calories, so please just do 50. We got fat-free feta cheese, Kraft fat-free cheese, Borden fat-free cheese, and I'll tell you what, that Borden fat-free cheese tastes the best of the slices, I think. Cabot extra light cheese. This is a block cheese. I buy it at Ingles. It is so good. Laura Lynn fat-free cheese, Kroger brand fat-free cheese, and Lifetime fat-free cheese. And there's more in the list. It's just, this is basic. Lean protein milk up to 16 ounces. Fat-free Fairlife milk, Kroger Carbmaster milk, hemp milk. That Kroger Carbmaster milk, I bought the chocolate and the vanilla, and they are so, so good. So the vanilla tastes like you've made homemade ice cream and it just melted, and that's what you're drinking. It tastes just like it is. Delicious. So then we've got breadings and flours. We got coconut flour, Carb Quick flour. I love this Carb Quick. It's a category 2 fibrous carb. That is so exciting. So what we do is at my house, we'll take a 9x13 pan, pour some MCT oil in the bottom of it, put it in the oven and let that just be warming up. I don't know why my husband does that, but he does, and it works. Then he cuts the chicken up. He puts it into a baggie, tosses it around with some Carb Quick, and puts some Nature's Own seasoning in there. We lay that in the warmed up MCT oil, cook it at 375 for 7 minutes, flip it over for another 7 minutes. That stuff is delicious, and it just falls apart in your mouth. It's so good. And then we've got Bob, the TVP, and then the almond flour. Now, Carb Quick, though, I've made Carb Quick biscuits, and they count as a category 2 fibrous carb. I've made the pancakes, but not from the box, y'all. Make sure it's from the recipe library, not from the side of the box. And then there's some cereals that are listed right there that you could use. Yes, Heather, that stuff is genius. Yes, I'm so thankful for it. And then, again, we've got back to some condiments. And we're going to look right here. Restaurants. I eat at Chick-fil-A an unreasonable amount of times in a week. It's ridiculous. But I've lost weight eating there, and it makes me happy, so I keep doing it. So with Chick-fil-A, you can have 8 to 12 grilled nuggets, or you can have 8 fried nuggets. I give up the 4 nuggets and have 8 fried. The other thing that you can have, and I just had it tonight, is I had just the chicken breast. I took the fried one too. And I took the bun and threw it out, and I had my side salad with a little bit of light Italian on it and a diet lemonade. It was a delicious meal. I enjoyed every single minute of it. You can also do the grilled chicken too. The thing at Chick-fil-A, you do not want to do the strips. The strips are not cooked, not breaded in a low-carb batter, or breading. So don't do the strips there. But you're going to use your restaurant guide. The restaurant guide is on the app or on your website, and familiarize yourself with your favorite restaurants and figure out what to eat so that you're never at a loss. And then at a Mexican restaurant, a bowl of chicken, soup, no rice, or 3 soft chicken tacos. Use your own tortilla. So you would take out what's in theirs and put it in your own. McDonald's, a 1/4 pounder on your own bread. Wendy's, small chili over side salad. And just keep on going down the list. I'm going to post this in a minute, but I want you to familiarize yourself with your favorite restaurants so that you can know what it is to eat. So let's say it's nighttime and you are tired and you are stressed and you've had a long day and you're riding home, and normally you might pull into Chick-fil-A and get a number 1 with fries and a drink. Guess what? Pull into Chick-fil-A. Get yourself a number 1 with a side salad, light Italian, and a drink with no calories in it. Throw away that bun and eat that. Or do the nuggets. And it's still as easy as anything else you did before. It's great. So I am going to see if you have any questions. If y'all have any questions, ask them, and I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this, into the group so that if you want to rewatch it, you can. I'm going to also post this whole chart here in the group so you'll be able to access it. Because if you're watching this on your phone, you probably aren't seeing this in the same exact way that I am, and it might be better for you to go back and look at it on a computer. So you'll do that. But I hope y'all are having fun. I hope that if you're brand new in Shibboleth, I certainly hope that you've had a great welcome. And I hope that you enjoy every single day this week learning the program. You really do turn this into a lifestyle for yourself. And if you are coming back to Shibboleth, and this is like your second chance group, thank you for giving us a second chance to learn the program. You're welcome, Jana. And thank you for giving us a second chance to help you learn the program. All we want to do is see you be hugely successful. And just to let you know, this is my ministry platform. So if I can do this for you and you can go out and your weight loss affects the people around you, then that's what makes me happy. And I know that I'm serving the Lord by helping you figure this whole thing out. So please reach out to me. Friend me on here. Oh, you're welcome, Heather. Friend me on Facebook, and we can be friends. Because you know what? We're all on the same journey, all of us. So we want to be friends. We're walking through this together, and this is going to be for a lifetime, because this isn't a diet. This is how we should be. You're welcome, Shauna. You're welcome. All right. Well, you're welcome, Amanda. Thank you. And we're going to sign off, and let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, if you hadn't friended me on Facebook yet, go ahead and do that. And comment and post and everything in the group this week. You're welcome, Patricia, because that makes it more fun. Makes it more fun for everybody, okay? All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.